So there was a guest, I think, or a host on MSNBC named, I believe, Barry Weiss. Barry, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that correctly. Hopefully I am. But she was talking about, I guess, free speech on college campuses. And she talked about Dave Rubin. And she says something very interesting here. Check it out.
The fact is that the person that I described, Dave Rubin, I mentioned that he was called a fascist lieutenant, which was not true. But if you go and you Google him, you'll see that in lots of mainstream publications, he's also been smeared as someone who's on the alt-right. He's a gay, pro-choice, anti-death penalty liberal. So there you go.
So as I told you before we started, and I hinted at here, so I came from the progressive world. I now view being progressive basically as a mental disorder or something. But I consider myself classic liberal, which really is conservative in a lot of respects.
It's libertarian, essentially.
Yeah, it's technically defined as conservative or libertarian. So I'm somewhere in there.
The idea or the statement or assertion that Dave Rubin is a liberal is absolutely and utterly false in every way, shape, or form. Now, Dave Rubin is a self-proclaimed classical liberal, and everybody knows that a classical liberal is essentially a libertarian. And a classical liberal is somebody who really doesn't even give a fuck about social issues. But anyways, you know, a classical liberal is someone who wants very small government and wants very little, you know, wants a lot of laissez-faire economics within the society. So he's a self-described classical liberal. Now, he also went on, he had Ben Shapiro on his show, and he says, you know, that, it's conservative in a lot of ways, which it is. Also, he took the political compass test and ended up in the bottom right quadrant, which is the conservative libertarian quadrant. Additionally, Dave Rubin gets invited, as he always loves to tout, that he only gets invited by conservatives and libertarians. It's because the dumb fuck is a conservative / libertarian, he's not a liberal. And that is very clearly why. He doesn't have any candidates or any politicians that he says he really supports that who actually are, liberals or progressives. He outright called progressivism a mental disorder. He said he came from the progressive world, but now he views progressivism as a mental disorder. So, quite clearly, Dave Rubin is not a liberal by any means, shape, or form whatsoever. He is a conservative.